Hello and welcome. This is the unscheduled or recently scheduled, I suppose, 6 a.m. live stream. Today we're going to install Lubuntu, which is one of the more lightweight versions of Ubuntu. This uses the LX Qt desktop. We've got the homepage up for that right now, Lubuntu.me, and I'll drop that into chat just for grins. All right, so of course you download it by going to Get Lubuntu and then selecting the ISO image, 64-bit. So we're going to jump over here. I've got the shell of a virtual machine set up, and we're going to jump to console and go ahead and get this install process kicked off. This is a virtual machine with 6 gigs of RAM, 2 CPU cores on an Optiplex 7010, which is running an i5 3470, I believe. So it should give us a good representation of what Lubuntu is actually capable of doing on older hardware. This is not using a dedicated GPU. So we get to the desktop rather quickly. And we're going to go ahead and kick off this install. I want to have this video an hour or shorter, so we are going to push through fairly quick. We've all seen the installer before: time zone, keyboard, erase disk. We're just using a standard, very simple installer here. And we will get this moving. All right, it is using ext4 as the file system. But let's take a quick look over here on their blog. They've got, make this a little bit larger. This is Jammy Jellyfish. Supported for 3 years until April of 25. So here are the major applications: LX Qt 0.17, Qt 5.15.3, Mozilla Firefox is shipped as a snap package, which we will likely do away with that in another video, in favor of either the Flatpak or the Deb version of Firefox. LibreOffice 732, VLC 3016, FeatherPad for notes and coding 1.0.1, and the Discover Software Center 5.24.4. So that is the list of items that are on the larger side for this particular release. And that is doing its thing on this VM. So yeah, this has been an exciting week. Yesterday, on Monday, the 25th, Pop! OS 22.04 was released, and I will be looking at that in the live stream Thursday evening. And we will potentially be looking at that on real hardware. I am not quite set up for that live stream yet, but I'm moving some things around, and provided I can get through a couple of other business projects between now and then, I may very well be installing that on real hardware. So stay tuned for that. That one should be a lot of fun. I do really like Pop OS for more recent machines, but LXQt for an older machine that's capable of running 64-bit is lightweight, and you can tailor it to what you want fairly easy, and it's got that solid Ubuntu base, albeit, requiring a little extra work if you want to get rid of the snap underpinnings of parts of it. But yeah, so we are 72% through this install right now, and we're only 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the video. So we are off to a good start, and hopefully this will get us where we need to be, and we could take a look at this and then maybe even wrap this up by 6:45 a.m. Eastern. So, all right. So there's not much else running on this particular Proxmox server right now. If we look at the summary, using 7% of, between 5 and 7% of the CPU. Good chunk of the memory is allocated, and storage is not in an awful place. I've got to clean up and get rid of some more of these VMs that I've got sitting around. A lot of them were just demos and things for live streams or some experimentation, and I am going to be continuing to delete some of those. I deleted probably half a dozen as I was prepping for this live stream. Okay, we're ready to restart. I'm going to say done, and while that's doing its thing, I'm going to come over here to hardware and get rid of the virtual DVD. And we can bump this out, move it to full screen. And welcome to the viewer that's out there. I'm a little surprised to have a viewer at 6 o'clock in the morning, but hey, I'm really not a morning person, but I've been up since the middle of the night working on a project, and so I thought, since I was at a good stopping point on that, that I would take a little bit of time and do a quick broadcast here. So, okay. Interesting login screen there. That's not too bad. So by default, Lubuntu LXQt or OpenBox. We'll see what the Lubuntu gets us. Almost night in your country. Well, welcome. Glad to have you here. This is not something I do on a regular basis at this time, but at this time of day, I should say. Yeah, so, first thing obviously that we want to do is to run updates. And so while that's running, we'll jump into preferences, our system tools. Let's see what we've got here. Preferences, settings, and we want monitor settings. We want to bump this to 1440 by 900, and that does look better. And so we've got some updates running. Make that a little bit bigger. All right. So the menu for Lubuntu is somewhat reminiscent of Windows 9X. Very simple, very easy to use. It's something that a lot of us are just ingrained with at this point. And there's not much to it. There's the mapping is not there for the super key. Some of the keyboard combinations, they conflict with running this in a browser on another machine, but that's all right. So yeah, accessories. We've got feather pad. We've got PC Man FM Qt for the file manager, which it serves its purpose. It's a file manager. What more can you say? You can always install. If I can type today, gonna get Crusader installed. Have you tried to create resources on Proxmox via Terraform? I have not put a lot of time into that. I did a little bit of experimentation. I think I got a similar error, but I did not spend a lot of time on that. And that is something that I do want to revisit, because that would very much streamline what I do for these live streams and getting things set up. Yeah, I wish I had more information on that. Definitely something I want to dig deeper into. I have not been spending as much time as I'd like lately on my infrastructure as code endeavors using Terraform and Ansible and some of the other tools that are out there, just because of other things going on in my life right now that have not made that made a deep dive into that kind of thing very approachable at the moment. So, but that is something I'd like to do in the future. All right, so we've installed Crusader. Not sure where that's going to have stuck it. But the search does work. Welcome to Crusader. Okay, that's fine for the moment. Sure. So what I like about Crusader is that it really takes me back to years ago, back into the 90s, when I was using the Commodore Amiga and using a piece of software called Directory Opus. Now, for PC people, there was, I think it was called Norton Commander or something like that. That was available. That was a similar dual pane file manager. But this makes it very easy to have two directories selected and copy from one side to the other. Obviously, the side that you're going to copy from is the one that's outlined and or highlighted. But yeah, so we've got a secondary file manager installed. Let's take a look at the software. We've got Muon Package Manager, which gets you a little more down and dirty with deb packages, and that's all in good. It seems like there was another option here. I thought they had a software center, but that might be all that they've got installed, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. So they even have some sort of a password manager type of thing. Generate GNU Privacy Guard key pairs. So that's kind of cool. So that's available. KCalc, which is going to be a calculator. Featherpad, the text editor. Clipboard manager. Noble Note. And this is going to be just a note-taking utility, which is fine. PyCom doesn't seem to do anything, at least the way I've got things set up right now. One game is installed. Graphics, no GIMP by default, but yeah, this is not bad at all. So let's see about getting a couple things installed. I always like to have FileZilla installed. Mark for installation. Okay. GIMP. Mark that for installation. Let's see. I don't even know here. Communication. We've got, oh, I suppose I need to get rid of this. Communication, cross-platform, education. They've got all kinds of stuff out here. And I wish there was a preview for the fonts, but so we've got replacements for Microsoft's Arial, Times, and Verdana. That is probably a good thing to install. Just to make it easier if you're switching or sending or receiving documents from this system to a Windows system with somebody else. Let's see. We can install Nmap. Let's see. Not in that category. That's all right. Networking. There we go. Okay, so we've got a few things there to install. Let's apply changes. Let this rip through its... That was quick. Let it rip through its process here. And we'll take a look at a couple of these. And then we might just wrap this up at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time, U.S. time. So, yeah, it's always kind of fun to take a look at these new releases of different Ubuntu variants and see what they have to offer. So if we come back here, we should have some additional things available. There's GIMP. And I've definitely seen that start slower than that on real hardware. Let's see. We installed there's the Nmap, should be the graphical interface for Nmap, and that doesn't seem to be launching. Okay, so this is a little bit different than I've seen. Just a different wrapper around Nmap. Usually you see ZenMap included, which is sort of the standard front end. This is a Qt 5 base GUI. So that's kind of cool. Has the copyright date though 2007 to 2015, which is a little worrisome, I suppose. So let's take a look. And it should discover things just fine. All right, while we're doing that here, let's take a look at LibreOffice Writer and see if those extra fonts were installed and made available. And let's see. We do have a lot of fonts and a lot of international non-English fonts by the looks of it. Or else they've just got the names there. So I think we're okay on the fonts. I double check and see what the name of those were, but that's all right. So yeah, from a purely surface level look at Lubuntu 22.04, it is detecting my network storage devices as well as a Windows box here. Everything else is storage. I suppose the other thing I normally do when I go through these installs is see how easily it finds my printer. And under network printers, it found it already. And it should install for me just fine. All right. So yeah, it is definitely going through all of the network addresses. So I'm just going to go ahead and stop the Discover. See what information it gives me. All right. So this is kind of neat. Kind of gives you some of the aspects of Wireshark in here as well. So not too bad. All right. So I guess that is going to get things pretty much wrapped up. It is 6:29 a.m. here in the Eastern Time Zone in the U.S. I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, and thank you, Multi Timothy, for stopping in. Appreciate seeing a new user here. Hopefully you will check out some of my other videos. And consider liking this video, and yeah, looking at some of the other content I've got. So this has been a look at the newly released Lubuntu 22.04 long-term support version, and it definitely looks like it's a good base to build on for the next few years. So not a huge amount of wallpapers included here, but that's all right. We'll throw that one up. But yeah, this is not bad. It's simple. Anybody should be able to sit down and use this, and go from there. So once again, thank you for coming out, and hopefully I will see you in a future live stream. Have yourself a great day or evening, as the case might be.